I was getting stronger and I still looked like a little bitch. And even though I was training my absolute ass off and getting numbers higher up in the gym, I really wasn't like improving my physique the way that I wanted to. So I put together this tier list so that you guys can hopefully avoid the same fate and, actually look the way that you live. And actually like have some semblance of aesthetics and not just use powerlifting as like a crutch to look like absolute dog shit. So, we got just get stronger, bro. What do I mean by this? All right. This is like those people that will like they think that the literal pinnacle of gym progress is just like adding pounds onto your lifts, which is at the end of the day that's exactly what it is. But whenever you sacrifice your technique and stuff and you keep looking for like little technical changes and stuff to like, add 5 pounds week to week to week, and it's like eventually you're not gonna be able to do this like continually forever. You're gonna have to cope to the fact that you're gonna have to stop adding 5 pounds and you're gonna have to just start adding, a rep or two. That's about the point that I'm at right now. So this isn't cope, this isn't god awful, but and honestly it serves like the newer generation of like dumbass scientific based lifters really well because this is something that would make them less scrawny because this is like a good way to speed run out of your newbie gains. But once you get out of your newbie gains, you kind of need something a little bit more like a more practical approach. So just because it has a good bit of utility, I'd probably put this. It's probably mid tier. It's probably a B. This is like on the tier list of like keeping me small as shit. It's probably a B. You know what? No, it served me well in the beginning. We'll go C. All right, inconsistent calories. So I was training like an absolute maniac for like most, if not all, of my lifting career thus far. All right, most sets go pretty close to failure, and most of the time I'm doing heavy compounds. All right, whenever you're doing bench, squat, deadlift, and you're completely crushing yourself, and you're pound for pound really strong, and your nervous system's getting destroyed, you kind of need to be fueling yourself. Yeah, no shit, but I know a lot of you guys definitely struggle with getting calories in if you're watching this channel. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you need help with cutting. I don't know. I can help you with both. But just to say something that you probably haven't heard before, you might know what ghrelin is. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. This is like the personal thing that I attribute to being able to get over being like a Ugandan runner pussy. Is ghrelin modulation. So what I mean by that, I don't mean take MK677 and start eating your dick off. I mean, like, if you eat at the same times every day, your body's gonna start producing ghrelin even if you're not hungry. So let's just put ourselves in the shoes of a GLP-1 Ozempic person. All right, like before they got on that Ozempic, bro, they're eating like literally 8 meals a day, which is retarded. They wake up, they don't skip breakfast, they eat breakfast, then they snack on the way there, then they snack here, and they eat here, eat there, and then it gets to the point where if they don't have their snacks, then they're so hungry, and it's just your genetics. No, true. I mean, it can be genetics to determine like where your baseline of ghrelin is, but if you work on it for long enough and you eat the right things and you're not snacking like a crazy person, you will over time shift towards something that's a little bit more maintained. Okay, I forgot that I was I was talking about skinny people. Like for us, it would be actually starting to snack and stuff. Add a few snacks in there and start trying to see like what's gonna make the scale move rather than what's gonna make it go down. So, inconsistent calories, that is a S tier, complete and utter killer. I mean, you can't train like an absolute maniac and then have a shit ton of variables off. That's the formula that kept me sore for like 2.5 years straight. All right, so prioritizing pre-workout over actually just eating carbs. It's retarded. I have an insane caffeine dependence now. God awful. One of the worst things that I've ever started in my life thus far. No, carbs are always better. Like a muffin is better than 300 milligrams of caffeine. I mean, maybe if not, if you're sleep deprived. If you're sleep deprived, then maybe the 300 milligrams caffeine might help a little bit. But and also probably don't eat a muffin. Probably eat something closer to like a little tiny bit of bread and maybe a banana and just anything that's a fast digest. Look up fast digesting carbs, and that's probably what you want to have about 60 minutes before working out, and then maybe a tiny little thing before working out. Now, if you're fat, you're probably already pretty carbed up, to be honest with you. This probably isn't like a great tip for you, but for most people, I don't know what it is. I love training fasted, but it's just all my lifts tank, all right? And I think that's true for most of us. All your lifts are going to tank, especially if you're doing compound movements. Like, going into a deadlift session fasted is one of the most retarded feelings you'll ever feel in your freaking life because your shit's just gonna go down by like 50 pounds. Um, Cope is like that's the worst of all, but pre actually that one actually like that does that does something. All right, that might actually be Cope for the caffeine addiction, but demolishing caffeine. This might seem similar to the last year. It's not. Um, Whenever you have a pre-genetic disposition to not eating that much, all right, and then your activity level is extremely high. Abusing caffeine, it's a diuretic in a sense. It's gonna lower your appetite. It's gonna make you dependent as hell on it. It's gonna make you feel like you're sleeping more than you're actually sleeping, and it's gonna make you avoid actually fixing your sleep if there's something wrong with it. This is the most cope shit of all time. All right, from a personal caffeine addict himself. All right, I'll be literally drinking a gram and a half of caffeine. Oh wait, give me a sec. Right there. The addiction got me. All right, it was staring me in the face. And by the way, yes, I am. I am gay today. We got a Celsius. That is, I'm a vegan bodybuilder today. But yeah, demolish caffeine. Honestly, it would go a lot. It would go probably farther than the ghrelin modulation shit that I'm talking about for like skinnier people if they could just get their caffeine tolerance down and rely more on carbs because caffeine almost lies to yourself not just in sleep but also in food. Like there's something about it. Just like, oh yeah, you don't need to eat, bro. You could just go drink a freaking White Monster. That's retarded, bro. That's complete and utter cope. Improper recovery. I was just not sleeping right, not having your nutrition dialed in. It doesn't have to be dialed, to be honest with you. Like a lot of things you're gonna see online are gonna like overstate what's true and what's not true. Most people are not under recovered because most people don't actually work out right. They work out like pussies. Um, and a lot of people, even if they work out right, they're doing nothing but bodybuilding movements, which is almost never gonna give you a recovery problem. But for me, as a powerlifter for years, not getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep, at least, getting your deep in REM sleep that's gonna end up like, I don't know, producing testosterone and growth hormone and stuff. Maybe I'd be a little bit taller, man. I'm not that short. I think I peaked out my genetics, honestly. Like, my parents are like 5'5". I got the 5'7", so maybe I'm just an ascended man, but not really. I mean, shit, probably wouldn't have helped much. But okay, I'm getting away from the topic way too much here. But yeah, improper recovery, that is a real killer there, especially if you want to be strong. If you want to be strong, you need to be eating a certain caloric amount and a certain amount of sleep. Um, I made it through on this on pure genetics for a very long time. I don't know how I got so far with like the inconsistent calories, especially. Like that shit killed me. But I don't know. I was eating like a literal like rabbit, and I still got up to like a over 300 pound bench and 500 pound squat in high school. All right, that's that you can chalk that up to genetics, but probably not. I mean, like I just binge ate. So a lot of skinny people are gonna tell you like, oh yeah, I eat the world. I could eat anything. Okay, the truth is that they eat one huge meal and then they don't ever eat again. Which first off, super inefficient for like protein synthesis. You're like catabolic for most of the day. Which I wouldn't really worry about that. You're gonna be burning fat mostly as well. I mean, it's a good way to stay lean and shit. But like, whenever you just bomb yourself all your calories, like the main problem isn't being like catabolism. That's like kind of gym bro shit. But I mean, it's not gym bro shit. It's just science. It's real. But whenever you bomb all your calories, you're not gonna be able to eat as much. Even if you think that you can hit an absolute mukbang, like chances are you're not gonna be able to get down 3,000 calories in one sitting. Especially if you're skinny, or unless if you're eating like Lay's potato chips, in which case just gonna end up being kind of fat. This is a killer. It's I've put too many things in C tier. I'll probably put it in B because you can get away with it. Like, cause to be honest with you, bodybuilding, like that's the most pussy workouts I've ever seen in my life. That shit is easy as hell. And honestly, if you're complaining about it, then you've just never powerlifted before. Like, if you get some good ass squat sets in and you actually hit legs, bro, your pain tolerance is gonna be like on a completely different level. Soreness equals growth. So this is they're retarded as hell. Soreness does not equal growth. Soreness means that your body hasn't adapted to the new stimulus that you're actually hitting it with. It's not a primary indicator of muscle growth. What's a primary indicator of muscle growth is actually strength. as it might seem counterintuitive to this one, but proper, like, you keep your technique relatively the same and you're putting on strength and reps. Okay, that is the primary indicator of muscle growth, as well as just looking in the mirror and maybe significant weight changes and stuff. But even then, you could be doing a recomp, losing fat, and then all of a sudden that shit goes out the window. But God, I'm talking 1,000 miles a second. Yeah, no, soreness does not equal growth. It's complete and utter cope. It's a complete and utter excuse to do program hopping, which I have been guilty of so many fucking times. All right, not as bad as a lot of people, like, but I can't lie. Like, sometimes shit gets boring, and if you want to stay in the gym and keep going consistent, you need to change it up a little bit. But like, let's at least give it a few months, bro. Shit. Like, there's a certain point where it's just being normal bored and being TikTok scroller brain bored. All right, this is cope as shit. All right, stress is an excuse. I understand. All right, there have been many times where I was on like 2 or 4 hours of sleep. I ate like literally nothing, and it's leg day. Okay, I feel you. That shit sucks, bro. But stress is not an excuse. All right, it might seem like it's an excuse to like not go balls to the wall on like a compound movement, but as far as bodybuilding movement, if you're tweaking your shit out on a like bicep curl, you're doing that shit wrong, bro. I cannot lie to you. That is definitely going straight up to the A tier. Go fill in that gap. Yeah, no day's gonna be perfect. Like, you're not gonna have like a perfect year of like workouts and shit. You're just gonna end up having to do with what you have. Almost like every week you might have not 2 or 3, that's way too many. Every week, there's a good chance you might have at least one workout that's just bombed. Like, it's just ass, and you really don't know why. You don't know why you're weaker that day, but it could have been 1,000 things. The point is that you showed up, you did what you were supposed to do, you didn't just completely give up, and you're making progress at the end of the day. Even if it's like you're moving less weight, you are making more progress than you would have made if you didn't even show up. In fact, if you didn't show up, you kind of would have reverted a little bit. Not significantly whatsoever, and really muscle takes longer than that to lose. But I mean, if this is your one leg session a week, bro, all right, you might be cooking yourself a little bit. But yeah, that's the tier list of complete and utter. Here, I got you guys. That's the cope tier list, kind of. I mean, I don't know, man. If you guys want some more content, like and subscribe. Leave a little comment if you guys want some more tier lists. I feel like an absolute dweeb doing this shit. I mean, this is like the this is a stereotype back in the day. Ran out of content. Now you're doing a fucking tier list. But I don't know, guys. See you next time.